Here at Spadina Museum in the Midtown neighborhood of Rathnally, the Green Line team got a crash course in local history that may challenge and change your perceptions of Toronto. Let's take a look inside.
Welcome to Spadina Museum, or actually,
Spadina Museum on Spadina Road.
It's one of 10 historic sites operated by the city. Just steps from Casa Loma, the Austin family lived in this house until 1982. It then reopened as a Toronto History Museum in 1984. The Austins were an affluent local family who founded the Dominion Bank of Canada. But we're not here to talk about them today, and neither is Spadina Museum. Last July, it partnered with local artists to create the Dismantle exhibit. Instead of focusing on the Austins, Dismantle reimagined Spadina Museum to highlight local Black history and culture.
The museum has been reimagined not as the home of the Austins, who were the homeowners, but asking our visitors to think, well, what if Mrs. Louisa Pipkin were the homeowner? She was a freedom seeker, a former enslaved person who came to Canada from the States. And we know that in the 1870s, she worked as a laundress for the Austin family.
Lead artist Gordon Shadrack painted this portrait. He was inspired by Mrs. Pipkin and the efforts of other Black abolitionists. Shadrack reimagined Mrs. Pipkin as the homeowner and Spadina House as a safe haven for former slaves seeking freedom through the Underground Railroad.
People have also said that for them, it's been the first time they've ever felt comfortable in a space like that. They've never wanted to go into historical museums because they find them kind of creepy, and and there's nothing really there that they can engage with.
Staff say public response has been overwhelmingly positive, so Dismantle has just been extended until the end of May.
I wasn't expecting the shift in terms of thinking like of a history or historical take that was colorblind. So seeing the switch up where we're centering Blackness within this historical building that has another kind of history connected to it was exciting.
The museum also covered up portraits of the Austin family.
I decided to cover them up as a way of reflecting and showing people what the feeling of erasure is. You want to see more and you want to learn more, but you can't because it's being covered up. It's being taken away from you.
The cover-ups have made a strong impact on visitors.
It really made you think about how the European history is often the history we see, and it was almost a bit disturbing not to be able to see the full history.
Dismantle is part of the City of Toronto's Awakenings program, which partners with local artists who are Black, Indigenous, or people of color. Its success has motivated the city to introduce alternative historical narratives in other Toronto history museums like Fort York.
Dismantle is right in the middle of work that we're doing where we really want to think about whose stories are being told in our spaces. So we really want to think about how elements of Dismantle could be found in our other museums.
For the Green Line, I'm Anita reporting with CityNews.